Is that Stan telling me that we are live with his clapping?
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our midweek reset here at the People's Congregation of Shakers and Movers. And if you don't know, we are a group of high vibe, plant loving humans who are on a mission to destigmatize plant medicine, including cannabis and all our other amazing herbal allies. We are so blessed to have our resident yogi, Anna, here with us each and every week to remind you that when you do the work, your plant medicine works better. So, we are here to teach you about gentle yoga practices, mudras, about sometimes we talk about different types of self care tips. Anna is currently studying Ayurvedic nutrition, and she's also a 900-hour yoga therapist. So, if anybody is looking for support, we have Anna available on Wednesdays down at the chapel to hold space and to really just sort of be one of our anchors and one of our rocks here at the chapel. And I know I look forward to this every week because personally, I needed some accountability in my life, as I know a lot of us do. And that's what our church is all about. In addition to this programming, we bring you a breathwork show every Tuesday at 11 with Matt Thompson called Rise Up Breathwork. And these two modalities together, breathwork and yoga, just really go hand in hand as an amazing way to calm your central nervous system. So, Anna, I just want to thank you because I think I have come personally a long way in the last 2 years. I feel like a more present parent. I feel like a better friend. I feel like a better spouse. And I'm actually just a happier person doing this work. So, I hope that other people are feeling this and benefiting from this. And that's it. That's all I really have to say about that. In the background here, you can see our original founding chapel. I just wanted to shout out to everybody that helped me fix up my four-wheeler shed over the last years so that we would have a physical place of worship up in Maine. And of course, our Education and Resource Center is in Weymouth Landing, where Anna is now. And we are open 5 days a week, 11 to 6. So if anybody needs to come down and ask about CBD, THC, mushrooms, we have all kinds of functional mushroom supplements now and lotions that are amazing for pain and amazing to feed your gut. Because when you eat mushrooms, you're actually helping your body produce serotonin. So come on in and ask us all about that. But otherwise, today, Anna, what are we going to be focusing on?
So thanks for having me, Sandy. It's so awesome to be back. This is one of my many joys, and I'm so grateful to be here to share this practice with all of you and welcome Ethan to the in-house practice. We're always welcoming practitioners to come in and practice with us and reset with us midweek every week. So you're always welcome to come. Just make sure that you RSVP so we know that you're coming and I know to expect you. Um, but yeah, I'm super grateful to be here. I missed you guys. Taking a week off for me was very different. And it's so funny how we try to take time off a little bit, but then it seems like during that time off, we need some time to recover from that. So, I
I
family
feel that, Anna.
Right? I had family visiting from California, so I've been zipping, sightseeing and doing all of that. So it's nice to be back and slow down, and my body's telling me so. I wanted to share the specialness of this practice is that it really does raise your vibe. And on that, if you really surrender to this practice and apply it just as you have, Sandy, you really see a progression. And the amount of practice that you do is also a reflection of how you sense your growth or how you allow yourself to grow or open yourself to grow. The less you practice or the more sporadic you practice, you will notice that, of course, you'll always feel good after a practice, but if it's inconsistent, the growth is inconsistent. If you practice consistently, the growth is consistent. And I've definitely noticed my growth in the past couple of years as well. And just in my practice in general, the energy also begins to grow. How you sense things, your intuition. And I think that that is something that's really, really special about this practice. So, talking about mushrooms and your gut, listen to your gut, because your body really has a lot to say, and it's really about going inward and allowing yourself to calm the mind, to create space to be able to listen. So I recently heard someone saying that meditation, which is what we also do here, is not just going to a place of calming the mind, which, there is obvious truth to that, that when you do go into meditation, you are calming the mind. But in calming the mind, you open up a space to be able to listen. So that is one of the beautiful things about this practice. So what I wanted to share with you guys today in this practice was, I usually bring a book in and I read to you guys. And I've been bringing in that book, The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo, lately. And but today, I picked it up, and there was just something inside me that wanted to talk about fear. So all of us have experienced a certain kind of different levels of fear, and how fear makes your body feel. So the root chakra is related to your sense of safety, the fear that comes in when it comes in. That's the root chakra is what rattles and what creates the instability in your body, and what really feels like that rug being pulled out from under you, that instability. So we've all have experienced different levels of fear. And what I also think is interesting about the root chakra is we develop that chakra in about our third year of life, which by 3 we are toddlerish, and we are learning how to how we see how we feel in the space, and how we some of us are fearless as toddlers, but that's when we really start to experience fear. Fear of stepping forward, or feeling of the instability of our bodies, because we're just developing. And when trauma occurs at that young age, that's really, also significant, because you are developing that chakra. And so if you experience trauma at a really young age, that's really going to affect you moving forward. So these practices are really, really wonderful for creating that stability within your energetic body, giving you that feeling of safety, that groundedness that we do every time we do this practice. All those things that I talk about aren't just, they're very significant. The grounding gives you that sense of really being a part and sensing your safety underneath your bottoms, or just bottoms of your feet, or what you feel that is holding you up, which is very important. So, as you all know, or maybe not, that yoga, the word yoga comes from the root word yoke, or to yoke, which is to bring opposites together. And where there is fear, where I find the beauty in this practice, is when we experience fear and go into this state of fight or flight, and our nervous systems get wrecked. We find we're on the edge of an opportunity to find courage, which is the opposite of fear. So when we are in that fear, we don't feel courageous. We don't feel, we have that doubt. Everything around us feels like it's dropping, and things feel out of our control. And that's a normal feeling, and it is good to feel all of that. But at the same time, it's also good to remember that we are not hopeless, that we are in this place where we are about to find the courage to move beyond the fear that is initiating the sensations of discomfort. So I wanted to just bring that about, because we all experience fear. We go into a state of fight or flight. We go into a state of avoidance. And some of us are aware, and some of us aren't aware. We also go into a state of reactiveness, where we quickly respond to something, in the philosophy of yoga, the practice of non-reaction really comes into play when we come into this place of fear, given that there is this innate, the wisdom of our body, or the old brain kicks in, which, I don't know if you've ever heard of children, or someone that flips their lid. As adults, we have developed the frontal lobe. As children, it's not quite developed yet. So kids go into the place of flipping their lids. So this is the frontal brain, and here is our lid, and it flips, and they go crazy. They go tantruming. So that is the old brain that hasn't quite developed yet. But when we go into our adulthood and the cognitive brain, the frontal lobe has developed, we are in this place where we can step back and into our awareness and say, hey, well, this is really rattling me right now, and I'm feeling it, but taking a step back to take that deep breath and remember to think or feel before you react is always a better place to be than to react right away, which is always where I get into trouble, or I would get into trouble. And we can still go into these states because you never know when something's going to rattle you. We're not always prepared for what comes in, and that's okay. That's life. And so I wanted to bring in this in today because in this practice, the grounding that we do in this practice really helps us develop that safety, that sensation that we can come back to. So remember, in meditation, if you've ever taken my yoga nidra classes, we create a sanctuary within ourselves before we allow ourselves to go into a deeper state of meditation. And I think that as a general practice, is always good in your heart to create this safe place for yourself where you know you can always come back to. So for me, yoga is that safe place to come back to, that I know that when I sit on this mat, that I'm safe. So that's what I would like for you to feel today, is that sense of safety and groundedness. So let's tune in and ground in, and if your eyes aren't closed yet, allow them to close, or allow yourself to soften the gaze, relaxing the hands on your lap and allowing the breath to become more deep, allowing the breath to become longer and slower as you inhale, filling the belly, allowing the belly, the diaphragm to expand, and as you exhale, slowing down the breath, allowing the breath to flow in and out naturally. And then maybe allowing a count, if that's comfortable for you, maybe to the count of 4 as you inhale. Exhaling to the count of 4. Maybe allowing yourself to pause at the top of the breath as you inhale, noticing how that feels. And as you exhale, maybe pausing at the bottom of the breath before you take that inhale in the next inhale. And no matter where your hands are, whether they are resting on your lap or you have them in prayer position at the heart center, let's take this moment here to set an intention for our practice this afternoon. Remember that it is intention that drives our actions, and it is these intentions we carry through our practice and take with us into our daily lives once we leave this sacred space. Inviting you to take a deep breath in with me. Slow exhale out. Swallowing at the back of our throats. And fluttering our eyes open. Good afternoon and namaste. And welcome to Yoga with Anna here at our midweek reset. There's one more thing I did want to share with you guys, and I want you to just take this image with you while we practice, is that within this talk about fear and courage, there is a dream that I had a couple of years ago. And recently I was wrapping up a painting and this image came back to me and I expressed it in my painting. And I thought it was really significant because when I did dream it, I was in this very, very deep state of fear and unknown. And it was very frightening for me. And then I had this dream, and in the dream, I was this being, and as this being, I all of a sudden became enveloped in these wings that wrapped around me. And these wings, I guess you could say they were like angelic wings wrapping around my entire body. And they gave me, I get chills thinking about it because it gave me the biggest sense of safety and security and faith that I was safe and that no matter what was happening, I was going to be okay. So this image came back to me this week, and I finished my painting with that image in mind. And just taking that moment to feel that safety, that tight hug around you, those angelic wings wrapping around you, knowing that you are taken care of and that you are safe is the beauty of this place of where we are at. All right, so just taking that image, lengthening the crown towards the sky, placing your hands on your lap, pulling the navel in. Let's take that right ear to the right shoulder. And then gently guiding the head back to center, allow the left ear to drift off to the left shoulder. Come back to center. Let's bring the arms up. Inhale, take a nice deep breath. Press the palms together and bring that love into your heart. Inhale, allow the love to rise, expand, press everything away. That love, and then round the shoulders, bring them around and around. Again, bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Back to center, and then left ear to the left shoulder. So another beautiful thing about this practice, let's bring the head back to center, and then let's draw little circles with the nose, bring some gentle movement to the cervical spine. Is that, and then let's go the opposite direction, that our body holds a lot of the energetic fear, right? We hold it at a cellular level when we experience trauma. Come back to center. Let's take the gaze over to the right side. And the beauty of this practice is that we don't have to hold it in our bodies. Come back to center. The gift of this practice is that we can release it through movement. Take the gaze to the left side. And then come back to center. Take a nice deep breath. Lengthen, pull the navel in, and then let's give the body some movement around the hips. And if you need to move your legs or switch legs, you can do that. You bring your body around. So yeah, when I would go into this place of fear and I began my practice of yoga more consciously, I would start to move my body, and that would really help release a lot of that energy and also change my state of mind. Shift it, as I say. Shift your mind when you move your body. And then come back to center. Let's inhale, lengthen again. Take a few cat-cows here. Let's press the heart forward, take the shoulders back, take the gaze up to the sky. And on the exhale, let's round in, taking the chin to chest. Inhale, lead with the heart. Take the gaze up to the sky. Exhale, chin to chest, and rounding in. So, and what we do here, continue back and forth as you round in and extend, inhaling as you extend, exhaling as you round in, is that's why I got into yoga therapy, is because therapeutic yoga has really helped me move beyond my fears and come into my place of safety and come into this place of courage. Let's come back to center. Let's gently bring that left hand down to ground. Inhale that right arm over. Reach, reach, reach through the fingertips. Grounding that left hand in and then gently floating into the opposite direction. Ground the right arm, hand in and reach through that left arm. And then gently floating back to center. Let's repeat again. Right arm reaches over the right ear. And gaze, depending on what's going on with your neck and shoulders, you can take that gaze to the bicep. And then let's float to the opposite direction. Left arm over, left ear. Gaze can follow towards the bicep or straight ahead. And then float that arm down. Inhale, arms come up, parallel to the ears. Reach up, palms face out. Let's take a hinge forward. Place the hands in front of you. And then before you round, take a nice deep inhale, lengthen through the crown, and then take that hinge forward, keeping the spine nice and long. And then gently take a nice deep breath in as you walk the hands towards you. All right, so let's release our legs, come into a tabletop position. And you might be asking, or maybe not, why I have these pillows here, but I joyfully let Ethan borrow my blocks. So these are kind of in a standing place in case I need to show you how to support yourself with the block in a particular posture. I also brought in the straps just in case my intuition said, let's do the straps. And if you don't have anything like that, that's okay too. You can just stretch without a strap or grab a belt and tie it or a kitchen towel or anything you can find. Let's do some cat-cowing here. On the inhale, let's drop the belly, tilt the tail, and take the gaze up to the sky. On the exhale, chin's going to come to chest. You're going to round in, press the mat away. Inhale, drop the belly, tilt the tail. Feel how good that feels to extend and then round in. Exhaling as you go. Inhale, extending the spine. Exhaling, flexing in. Use your breath here, inhaling. Exhale as you round in. Continue back and forth, creating this flow movement with your body, using your breath to sync the movement. And then let's come back to center and give our hips some movement. So the root chakra is at the base of our spine, so we're going to gently rattle that area by taking some movement in, allowing the hips to circle around, and then go the opposite direction. Just gazing at the top of your mat, getting the stretch back and forth as you move the hips, or move them any way that feels good to you. I'm just a guide, so you move the way you feel like moving, and I will just guide you along. You don't have to do exactly what I'm doing, whatever feels good to your body. You might feel really tight, and you might have to go a little bit slower than I, and that's okay too. Then your body will allow itself to loosen up. You go at your pace. So let's bring the knees to the width of the mat. Take the toes to touch and bring the hips down towards the heels. Extend the arms forward. Go into a wide-legged child pose, creating space for the torso. Ground your third eye in to the ground or the mat. Take a nice deep breath. You can sigh it out. Just let everything go. Breathing in love for yourself. And gratitude for showing up for yourself for this practice. And releasing what no longer serves. This is our opportunity to just let things go. Anything emotionally uncomfortable. You can allow yourself to feel or just let things go. coming into your body and the sensations of what you're feeling. Really wiggle those hips back towards the heels to allow some movement and looseness in the hips. And then let's walk the hands back to our tabletop position, stacking the shoulders over the wrists and the hips over the knees. Let's curl the toes under, gently shift the hips back and hold here to give the feet a nice little stretch. Giving our feet some love, our feet who carry us all day long. We don't love them enough. All right. Come back to center and uncurl the toes. Let's extend that right leg long. And if you want to lift it, you can. Flex the foot and press the heel back, or you can ground the toe and go into a little runner stretch. Inhale, shift the shoulders back over the wrists. Bring that leg back, extend the opposite. Again, you can press into the toes, press the heel back, or lift that leg and press the heel. Then let's shift the shoulders back above the wrists, bring that leg back, and this time extend that right leg, lifting that leg, pressing the heel back, bend the knee. Let's open up and stack that right hip over the left and give the hips a movement. So bringing the knee into a circular movement. And then go the opposite direction. And then let's bring it back down. Lift the left leg up, bend the knees, stack that left hip over the right. Take a breath here and then begin to move and rotate that knee, that hip. And then opposite direction. And then bring it back to table. All right, so let's get into our ankles. Lift that right leg up and then just twirl the ankle around. And go opposite. Same thing, other side, lifting that left leg. You can extend it whichever way, bend the knee, whatever feels good. And then gently bring yourself back to table. Let's bring the hips back to the heels and walk the hands back, sitting on top of our heels. And let's inhale the arms up. Exhale, float them forward. Extend the arms forward. Expand the fingers, texting fingers. Let's give them a nice stretch. And then bring them into a fist. Extend, fist, extend, fist. And then circle those wrists. And then gently float those hands down. Shake them out. Inhale the arms long. Lift the hips high. Press the hips forward and reach back. And then exhale, float the arms, hips float back down. Inhale, reach high. Reach back, press the hips forward, and then float the arms down. Inhale again, reach high. Press the hips forward, reach back, and then exhale, float everything down. All right, so hands are going to come in front of us, and then we're going to extend that left leg long. And so give yourself the space and allow that foot to be flat. Hands are in front of us. So at this point, we're going to gently shift the hips back. And what we're doing here is giving our groin a nice little stretch. So if it helps to bring the blocks in to allow yourself to take that bow and stretch into that inner groin, you can. So you can stack the blocks and rest on the blocks or a pillow. Or you can gently lift yourself, can keep yourself lifted, and just shift those hips back. So you will feel a little pinch in that right hip. I'd say that maybe pinch isn't the right word for it, but a little pressure in that right hip. Now we're going to take it a little step further. So extending that left arm, if that feels good, we're going to reach underneath that left arm with our right and drop that right shoulder down. So a little opening of that shoulder. The head can come down or it can rest on a block. And you can stack 2 blocks also to allow yourself to feel comfortable. So you really feel that stretch right in that hamstring. Last breath here. And then gently guide yourself back up. Walk the hands towards you. Bring that leg back, and then we'll do the opposite side. Extend that right leg long. Foot's nice and flat and parallel, and gently shift those hips back. Ooh, you'll feel it there. Sometimes one side's tighter than the other. And then allow yourself to ease into that stretch. Using your breath, and then easing off. If you need to ease off, lift the hips up. And then if you want to get back into it, press the hips back. When you're ready, you can extend that left arm and then gently, opposite side, extend the right arm long and then bring that left shoulder down. Right temple can come down. Again, you can support your head with a block or a pillow. Last breath here, and then gently guide yourself back up. Bring that leg back in. And then let's flow. So come to your tabletop, and we're going to flow into threading the needle. Let's start on the right side. On the inhale, lift that right arm up. Exhale, weave it through. Don't drop that shoulder yet. Inhale, lift that right arm high. Follow the palm. Inhale, weave it through. Inhale, follow the palm high. Exercise the eyes. Exhale, weave it through. Inhale, 2 more. Exhale, weave it through. Last one, inhale, reach high. Exhale, now drop that right shoulder, right temple. Extend that left arm long. So again, depending on what you want to feel, that left arm can stay extended, or you can bring it around behind your back and take a little bind. Now we have all sorts of levels of practitioners. So if you want to get a little more bold, you can bring that left arm back, and you can actually support yourself before you decide to lift that left leg high. And then gently bring it back in if you've lifted it. Guide that left arm back to support your lift, and then inhale that right arm up high, and exhale, float it back down. So come back to your tabletop. We're going to do the opposite side. Left arm lifts high. Exhale, weave it through underneath that right arm. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, weave it through. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, weave it through. 2 more. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, weave it through. Follow the palm. Inhale, last one. Reach up. Exhale, weave it through. Drop that left shoulder, left temple. Extend that right arm long. And then notice what it feels like to press those hips towards the heel. Using your breath to breathe nice and deep. Bringing some ease to the nervous system with your breath and with this inversion. Again, the right arm can come back behind your back to open up the front of that right shoulder if you want to feel that. Or you can leave it extended in front of you, or if you want to lift the leg, bring the arm a little bit closer to you. You're going to lift that right leg, coming into a little balance here. Again, no pressure. You can stay right where you are. And then if you've lifted your leg, bring it back. And then gently walk that right hand back towards you as you lift that left arm high, reaching up and then gently floating it back to your tabletop. All right, so let's take some time here for some intuitive movement. This is going to allow your body to move however you feel like moving. So I always just start with circular movements of the hips, but you can really do whatever feels good. You can shift left, shift right, extend the legs, lift the legs, circle the body. Anything that feels good to you, you can extend the legs, you can come into an up dog, you can come to a down dog if that feels good. Anything that feels good to you right now that your body feels like doing. If it feels good to even just stay in a child's pose, you can do that as well. Anything that feels good to your body right now. So just a few more breaths here. And then let's come back to our tabletop. Let's curl the toes under and shift the hips up to the sky. Come to your down dog. Adho Mukha Shavasana. Let's walk our dog, lifting one heel after the other. And then ground your hands in, but really bring the awareness to the thumb and the index finger and press those fingers in. Notice your shoulders. And then press the heart towards the thighs. Gaze is between the ankles. Nice deep breath in. You're welcome to sigh it out. Sigh through the mouth. And just let everything go. Take another deep breath in. Lift the heels high. Bend the knees deep. Gaze between the hands. Inhale. Shift the heels back down. Come back to your down dog. Inhale, lift the heels high, shift the gaze between the hands, and then let's walk our feet to meet our hands, come to the top of the mat, and come to a forward fold. Allow yourself to ragdoll here, allow the arms to be loose in the shoulders, or you can take a bind elbow to elbow if that feels good. Allow the body to sway. Notice if you're holding onto your head and neck. Allow that tension to release in the shoulders. And let the head feel heavy. All right, let's inhale. Hands on the shins. Come to your half lift. Pull the navel in. Shoulders back. And then let's root to rise. Inhaling nice and deep. Reach up towards the sky. Press the palms together. And bring that love back to your heart. Take a moment here just to notice what's arising for you. All right, so let's tone the legs. Lifting those quads. Notice how the instep lifts. Pull the navel in and up. We're in standing mountain, shoulders back, and then roll those shoulders down. Inhale, palms together. Reach up towards the sky and reach back. Press the hips forward. Exhale, palms together, forward fold. Come all the way down. Release the hands at the bottom of the floor. Inhale, hands on the shins. Come to your half lift, and then let's plant the palms down. Step back with that left foot, and then let's pivot the body. Come to a wide-legged forward fold. So pivot that right foot. Feet are parallel to each other. Take that forward fold. Another stretch in that groin, in that inner thigh area. Again, you can support the forward fold with a block or a pillow. And then allow the weight to shift forward towards the toes. Let's walk the hands over to the right side. And then walk the hands back to center, walking them all the way over to the left side. Walk the hands back to center. And then from here, 10 the fingers, lifting your chest up, lengthen through the crown. And then exhale, forward fold again. This time, let's reach for the outsides of the feet. If you want to take that bind, or you can keep the hands right in the center where they were. Take a nice deep breath, lengthen through the crown. And then bend the elbows. Keep those elbows close to the shins. Shift the weight forward. And then release. Bring the hands back to center. Take another extension through the spine, lifting and extending the crown. And then from here, pivot that right heel in. We're going to shift over to the right side, walk the hands to the right side. And then that left foot is going to come onto its heel. Another stretch in the inner groin. And that's all good. I think we all need a good stretch there. And then gently walk the hands back to center. That left foot has already pivoted. So we're going to take that gentle lean over to the right side, and that right foot's going to come onto its heel. So lifting the chest up. And again, you can use the blocks to help you walk from side to side. Lifting the body up. Come back to center. We're going to repeat. Shifting over to the right side. Pivot that left foot onto its heel. And then walk all the way across to the left side. Same thing. All right, so now I'm going to bring a little balance in. So you're going to bring that right foot down. The left foot is going to come onto the toes. And then you're going to lift your body up. And you can stay right here supporting the balance, or you can bring your hands to the heart center. So it's a little challenging bringing the balance in here. Now we're going to gently shift to the right side. So that left foot's going to come flat, and then you're going to gently lean. So keep that left foot flat. So you want that foot grounded, and then take that lean over to the right side. You can come onto the tiptoes of that right foot, and then you're going to shift again. Snap, crackle, pop. Keep the chest nice and lifted so you keep your center of balance. This is what they call candlestick pose. And then shift left again. And then release the hands. Come back to center. Come to that wide-legged forward fold. And then walk the hands over to the right side. Pivot that front foot, that right foot. And then we're going to come to a low lunge. Drop that left knee. Shift the hips back, coming to a half splits. Allow yourself to shift forward and shift back, however it's comfortable for you. Get some movement into the hips and hip flexors. Come back to the half splits. And then gently here, come back to shift forward. We're going to ground that left hand and open up, twist open to the right side. Exhale, we're going to float here, float that arm down, and then inhale, lift that right arm high. Exhale, float it down. And if you want to take it another notch up, curl the toes under and do it in a balancing pose, flowing down and up by raising that left knee up high on your toes. 2 more. Last one. And then ground that right hand. Left knee comes down if it's lifted up. Inhale, both arms high, reach back. And allow the hips to reach towards the earth. Let's flip the palms here on the in-breath. Float the arms down, reach behind you. Interlace the fingers, and then gently reach those wrists towards the back heel and take the gaze to the sky. Inhale, take a bow. And then gently rise up again, releasing the bind. Arms float back up. And exhale, float it back down. Bring that right hand to the instep of that right foot, heel toe that right foot out, coming into a lizard pose. So you can stay right here, or you can allow yourself to begin to descend, to get deeper into that hip. You can even tilt the foot out on its outer edge. Gaze to the top of the mat, or your hands, and breathe. Again, you can support this posture by pretending these are blocks, and bringing the blocks in to help lift your body up. A couple more breaths here, and then we will transition. Begin to gently lift back up. Heel toe that right foot back to center. Tent the fingers or take your blocks to bracket that front foot, because we're going to gently curl those toes under the back foot and come into a forehead to knee. Now bend the knee as much as you need to allow the forehead to touch the knee. Really nice and deep. Then release the forehead, and then from here, we're going to gently begin to bring that right hand to the instep, because we're going to pivot that left foot, walk our hands to the center, and we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So walk the hands over to the left side, pivot that left foot, and then we're going to come into a low lunge. Drop that right knee, inhale, arms up high, reach back. Hold here, allow the hips to drop towards the earth. And then flip the palms, gently float the arms down and bracket that front foot. We're going to take a nice twist here. Inhale, arms come up, that left arm floats up. And then if you want to take that right knee high, you can curl the toes under. We're going to flow this way. Inhale, drop that. We're going to float that left arm down. Inhale, reach up to the sky again. And then again, you can drop that right knee and flow that way. All right, inhale, left arm's going to rise again. Exhale, float it down. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, float that left arm high, follow the palm. Exhale, float it down, and then reach high again. Exhale, float it back down. drop that back knee, pivot the hips towards that back heel, come into a half splits. And then if you want to shift the hips forward to give a little movement, you can, and shift back. You can do some back and forth movement. Alright, inhale, come back to center, step that front knee over the ankle, and inhale, arms high, reach back. Exhale, flip the palms, float the arms down, reach behind you, interlace the finger, reach those wrists towards the back of the mat or your heel, take the gaze up to the sky. Inhale, take a bow. Maybe the arms lift off the back. Now ground those anchors in, so your front big toes really grounding in. That back shin is also taking some of the weight off the back knee. Inhale, chest rises, release the bind, arms come back up. Exhale, float them back down, bracket that front foot. All right, bring that left hand to the instep of that left foot, heel toe that left foot out. And here we go into our lizard. So if you really want to get into that hip a little bit deeper, you can extend that right leg back or keep it right where it is. And then begin to get into that left hip slowly and gently. Nice work, Ethan. So just quickly take a peek at that back foot and make sure it's not rotating in or out, and align your back foot. Always nice to take a little peek at your alignment. Last breath here, and then we're going to gently lift ourselves back up. Heel toe, that left foot back to center, right foot comes to the outside of the foot. Let's gently curl the toes under that back foot, and then we're going to pivot back to center, back to that wide-legged stance for that forward fold. And then let's bring our hands to our lower back. And then inhale, chest will rise, come all the way back up. Press the hips forward, take the gaze up to the sky. And then gently come back to center. Awesome. All right, so from here, bring the heels inward, and we're going to come into a goddess or wide-legged stance here, squat. Whoop. All right, so little squat here. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, cactus arms, and then we're going to extend high, extend those knees, reach out, come into a star pose. So arms will come back, palms out, facing up to the sky, and then come back to our goddess squat. Inhale, reach up, open up the heart, reach back. Exhale, come back to goddess. Inhale, reach up and back. Come back to the goddess. Beautiful. One last time, let's reach up and back. And then let's bring the hands back. Palms touch, palms come to heart. And take a moment. All right, so let's pivot that back foot pivot that left foot parallel to the back of the mat, and then we're going to pivot that front foot and come into a warrior stance. So not too much adjustment here. That front heel is going to align to the instep of that back foot. Inhale the arms up and allow them to float down to take your warrior pose. Let's contain the energy, bring the fingers together, Gaze over the right fingertips, pull the navel in, soften the shoulders down, tuck the tail. Breathe. Inhale, reverse warrior. Reach back with that right arm and that left hand. That left arm can come behind you or stay long on that left leg, and then come back to your warrior two. Inhale, reach back, reverse warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale one more time, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Beautiful. Side angle. Let's bend that right arm, that right elbow onto that right thigh, and extend that left arm over the left ear. So let's make sure our torso stays nice and lifted. Reach that left shoulder back. And then from here, let's windmill those arms back to warrior two. And then from here, bring the hands back to center. And then pivot that right foot. And then bring the heels in. So we're still facing outward. And I want to do a body rotation. You can wiggle the hips back and forth to allow a little movement, loosen up the hips. So I wanted to do some body rotation. And what that means is, let's extend the arms out. And we're going to start with the right hand, the right arm. That right arm is going to follow down that left hand. And then we're going to reach up with that right arm. And then that left arm is going to follow. Okay? Inhale. That left arm is going to come around. So we're making a beautiful circular shape. And then inhale, come around again. Inhale, reach up. Go the opposite direction. Whatever your flow is, just keep that rotation going. So it's giving a nice rotation to the shoulders and to your hips. And then come back to windmill. Arms come out, come back to, hands come back to the hips, and then pivot that left foot. And we come to our warrior position. Just parallel that back foot, that right foot to the back edge of your mat. Inhale the arms up, and exhale, float them shoulder height. Soften the shoulders, pull the navel in, tuck the tail, gazing away at those left fingertips, containing the energy, bringing all those fingers together. Let's reverse warrior. Inhale, reach back with that left arm. And then exhale, come back to your warrior two. Two more times. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach back. Exhale, warrior two. And then from here, side angle, reach over. And then let's come back to our warrior two. Hands come back to the waist. And then from here, pivot that left foot, pivot that right foot, step forward, coming to the top of the mat. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, swan dive down for your forward fold. Plant the palms, step back with both feet, coming into a temporary plank. Lower the knees and come to a child's pose. Not there for too long. Inhale, walk the hands back towards your knees, and then shift the hips to one side and swing the legs around. Shift your bottom towards the bottom of the mat. Inhale, reach forward. Press the heart forward, and then lean back, pull the navel in, gently coming all the way down. We did a lot of hard work today. And then let's bring the knees into chest and give yourself a nice little hug. Swing side to side. Full body stretch, extending the legs, extending the arms. Bring that right knee into chest, squeeze in. Extend that right leg long, full body stretch. Left knee squeezes into chest. And then gently release, full body stretch. take a yawn because now we're going to go into our Shavasana, where you are allowed to stay as long as you'd like. It is your mid-reset, so I'm just going to adjust here and shift myself back to seated, but you stay in your Shavasana right where you are. You have taken courage today, allowing your body to completely surrender and feel safe, releasing any fears and allowing space for that courage to come in because you are that powerful soul. Again, your option here is to stay in Shavasana, or you're welcome to close class with me. I'm going to seal our class with our hands at the heart center, bringing prayer hands up to our third eye as a reminder to think kind thoughts, down to our lips as a reminder to speak kind words, and back down to our hearts as a reminder to live life full of love, joy, courage, inner strength, and fierce, fierce grace.